Okay, good morning to whoever is seeing this. You know, there are a lot of things throughout history that point people to truth, information, to investigate truth, and eye-opening information. The biggest downfall of mankind is not paying attention to it. Morning, Calvin. Okay, that is our biggest issue. For years, people have been sounding the alarm about what's going on. For years. There's just so much going on. I'm going to start off by saying this part. If you read Revelations, okay, when it spoke about the entire world seeing something, in particular, the bodies of the prophets, when it spoke in particular saying everyone saw it in the world, to 500 years ago, wouldn't have been possible. Today, nothing goes unseen. There's a camera everywhere. Someone, I mentioned to them about the impact that Bill Gates has had on the globe in whole. His idea was, well, if he has that much money, why would he be even wasting time with this and that and the other? Bill Gates uses his money to censor information about what he's doing. Just so you know. If you watch and type in anything about Bill Gates, the first 3 comments are usually the 3 posts that come up are very, very positive about him. And then you'll have about 2 or 3 others just below it of fact-checking poor information about him. Just go look for yourself. The articles could be talking from people who have first-hand knowledge, but it's fact-checked as false. Okay. So me coming from a different part of the globe, okay, we have information that's a completely different scale than in America. There's way less filters. We get information almost raw. When I came and told people that Bill Gates tests his vaccines on Africans and Haitians, a lot of the black countries, people said, nah, it's not possible. Even looked it up. Information from Africa directly, from Africa and from India, both got fact-checked by companies that receive money from the Gates Foundation. Okay, so all that, now you have that information. I put up a video that has since been debunked, okay? And I have one question for you. Just one. Who debunked it? Okay. They sent me a video of a guy whose entire goal, they say, is to expose some things going on, some nefarious acts, as he put it. And they want to tell me that, oh, that's not Bill Gates in the video. That's not Bill Gates at all, because the original one that you see is not Bill Gates. Okay. If you believe that, more power to you. Then explain why he himself today, with fake videos, is involved in the exact same thing that video spoke about. Like exact. Altering the human genome through vaccination. He tests it on black human beings first. His wife is on record saying that's where we should test it first, is in Africa, because they need it more. They're the most sickly and underprivileged people in the world, so we need to test our vaccine more there because, you know, we can help them control their population. And for years, people have been trying to tell you people things, and you just don't want to listen. You believe anything they put in front of you. You believe it. Because there's no way Bill Gates could be lying to you. I will say this, okay? If you want to investigate something to decide if I'm right or wrong, look up his involvement with Montesano, okay? And really research all of the information. And if you have to go directly to the local websites for the governments of Haiti and Ghana. Okay, just start with those two. And Ethiopia, if you want to go more specific. Just go to the local ones. I also guarantee that the first results you find are not going to be positive ones for what you're looking for. They're not going to be from the sites that are actually local. You'll get some American site or a British site saying what happened. And then you'll have a couple that are false flags saying, no, that's not true. And then way down in the search results, you might find the actual video, okay, or information about what you're looking for. So scroll down. I want to speak directly to people who actually want to learn about this stuff, who actually are listening. So I'm going to start with something very, very simple. Is mercury good for your body? It's that easy of a question. Is mercury something you should be ingesting, putting into you? Are pesticides something that you should be putting into you? No? If not, then you shouldn't be taking vaccines because both those things are in there. He's even on record today, not in terms of this morning, but in this day and time, saying that the side effects are just something we have to deal with. As bad as they are, they don't outweigh what good can come from my vaccines. I have decided that I'm not going to give you information if you're not going to listen. But at the same time, I can't help but give you information in hopes that you will listen. So I'm not going to drive it home. I'm not going to repeat it over and over and over and over. If you don't have the wherewithal to go and investigate this thing yourself, you don't really want to be enlightened. And I don't mean, or that I have, ascended to some sort of a transcendent information. No, it is in plain sight, and it sounds so unbelievable. But there are facts to back it up. There's documentation. There is proof. There is death to back it up. There is autism to back it up. There's ADHD to back it up. There's paralysis to back it up. This is eugenics, folks. Subtle eugenics. So let's turn it to the American side, okay? The American version of events, you cannot destroy America from the outside. You can't come attack us. You can't come blowing us up, and you can't come bringing rifles and guns and ammunition to destroy America. It won't happen. Too direct of an attack or too strong. The military itself will defend it. There's nothing you can do. They've tried for years. Not going to happen. What you can do is weaken the populace, separate their ideals, destroy their core base, and split the people. We're in the split the people phase. And when you try to tell people this and you go into voices of reason to try and tell people what's going on, they don't want to listen. When you ask them for a solution, they don't have one, but they're not content with how things are going. Right? They come up with asinine solutions like defund the police. Yes, remove all the protective barriers that will stop one lawless person from killing one so that they can kill more. What you don't realize is that when you remove police, you're not really not protecting the innocent. You have now given the ones who can defend themselves the ability to defend themselves by any and all means. So when the true people who do not stand for this nonsense decide to stand up, don't be upset that we're defending ourselves. When we decide to take to the streets, if we decide one day, you know what, that's it, we're done, and we decide to go out and take stuff back, don't get mad, okay? You decided that you wanted to defund the police. You wanted to take out the middleman that does both sides and remove him because he's a problem, even though he's only accounting for like 5 to 10% of the issues in America. Remove him and let the two sides hash it out. No. There's only one side that will win this one. There's not going to be two sides left. Just warning you. There's only one side that's going to win this. So let's localize it now. So you're in the, let's say, with the less privileged portion of the society. And that goes for both. That goes to the white community in poverty and the black community in poverty. They said that the one thing people remove from that is options and opportunity. I'm not so sure that they remove the opportunity, but they sure tell you that they have. If I tell you something enough, you start to believe it, you will repeat it to other people, and they'll start believing it because they believe you, right? So if I tell someone in poverty, you can't make it out, there just isn't any opportunity for you. Even though they can see someone else is making it out, They hear you, and you're the one that keeps coming to them, telling them over and over, you can't make it out, 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 you can't make it out. And that eventually sticks in your head that you can't make it out. Your friend comes by and he says, how you doing? Well, man, I can't make it out. He's like, really? He's like, yeah, man, we can't make it out. We're kind of stuck here, bro. Be like, damn, I didn't know. Like, yeah. So now you have two people believing it. Meanwhile, the same guy he was watching initially is still heading on his way out, okay? Third guy comes and meets with you two. And it's like, oh, no, oh, no, oh, no. Yeah, we can't make it out, man. We can't? No, we can't make it out. But I don't know how we can't make it out. Then he turns on the TV. And the TV says the same thing the guy told him. You can't make it out. You can't make it out. Now you have 8 people believing you can't make it out, and only one person decides to get up and attempt to try to see if that's true. Only one of those people will have truth on their side. Only one of them will know what's right and what's wrong. Only one of them will understand it, because only one is testing the theory, not just taking someone's word. That is how truth is stifled. You get the masses believing something. The 1 or 2 that make it out will be the anomaly. You have people like Ben Carson, who lived in poverty, lived in Section 8, and became a world-renowned neurosurgeon on children. And no matter what he does to try and tell people how to make it out, no one listens. He tells you, get education. Don't become a father before you're married. Don't do drugs. When you do get older, get married. No, nobody listens. That's true traditional. We can't be. I like my fun too much. But then when you suffer, it's the man's fault. White people don't like you. The system is keeping you down. Larry Elder, same situation. Father worked multiple jobs, eventually has his own business in a time where blacks are not supposed to have their own business. Tells you how to make it out. You don't listen. People try to tell you the key is to make sure that you don't make yourself susceptible to lies, to educate yourself. And I don't mean educate yourself as becoming the most brilliant person, but be aware of falsehoods. Know a truth from a lie. That is also education. Understand this, in America, this is probably one of the only places you could make millions never having graduated high school. Do people realize that you could make millions legally never having graduated high school, because your intelligence level is not dependent on books necessarily, but your ability to learn. School is not about regurgitating information, okay? My ex-father-in-law taught me this information, and I've never forgotten it. Never. He said, school is only supposed to teach you how to learn. It teaches you how to learn, so that when you're done, you can keep learning. Education is perpetual. It keeps going and going and going. You don't stop learning until you're dead. You learn something new every day. You've heard that before, right? Learn something new every day. It's factual. You do have to learn something new every day. You don't end up at the top of the ladder and then look down and say, well, I've accomplished everything. No one's ever done that. Even Jesus left work undone. You realize that, right? He was done with his time and his period of work, and he still didn't accomplish everything. He left work for us to do. He divvied out work for us to do. He got to where he had to get to open the doors that we needed to get into. Became the way, but he wasn't the end of it. He became the way. You realize you don't just get to Jesus and stop. What does he say? Know me, right? When he says know me, that doesn't mean, oh yeah, I know Jesus, good. That's where he's, no. You go. Because he calls you where? Deeper still. Which means it's a journey. You still have to go learning. Life doesn't end with you being the be it and know all of everything. So when I try to tell people that education is the key and they don't listen, it bums me out, because if you just turn your head and say, no, that's impossible and that's impossible, never test it, but it's impossible, then it tells me that your key is not to learn. Your key is to say you know, but don't. That's not wise. That is not wise. There are things coming that you have to be prepared for. You don't have to take my word for it. Like I said, I want you to go investigate, because I know what it's going to show you. If you were to, I did this before and I keep doing it because things keep changing and more things keep popping up and more things keep showing up, and it keeps correlating with what I'm seeing. Okay. You have the world itself going along, politics, day-to-day life, violence. And then you have Revelation sitting down in the corner telling you, I told you that was coming. I told you that was coming. Look for this next. And then you go look for that and boom, there it is right there. It is trippy stuff. I'll tell you what too. Okay, so 4, 5, and 6, Revelation 4, 5, and 6. I think it was 5, 6, and 7. Pretty sure it's 4, 5, and 6. The seals. Okay, just if you don't believe me, just go read the seals. Okay, read the 7 seals. And then look at what's happening today and tell me the Bible is a lie. I will tell you, you won't be able to tell me it's a lie. It is messed up. It is really messed up. But it's exciting at the same time for people who know. It is really exciting for people who know. So anyway, this is part 1. Okay, I'll be doing a second live because I want to break this up. I'm going to break this up. I have a Discord discussion that's coming up tonight, so I may do it later on. But part 2 will happen today. This one is just to introduce you to something called education. You have to educate yourself. I can only give you the information for you to look up. If you don't want to look it up, then don't tell me that it doesn't exist, because you don't know it doesn't exist because you didn't take the time to check. And if you don't take the time to check, I can't keep handing you information. I'm not in that business. I didn't come by this information because I was born so. No, 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 no. I was just as naive to this thing until I literally saw it. Literally saw people dying in Africa because of that man. We got this information years ago back in the Caribbean. You know what the first thing to happen after we got that bit of information? Oddly enough, the voices that were speaking out just disappeared. And then we stopped talking about it. I could go to the Caribbean right now, no one will be talking about Bill Gates, and they won't be talking about what happened in Africa and in India and in Haiti. They've been told not to talk about it. Why? You understand? I grew up watching this stuff on TV. I literally saw when BBC used to be good. They became the British CNN now. They would literally show you people getting the vaccines, and weeks, not months, not years, weeks later, they went back to investigate, and people were dying. Like, the vaccine was supposed to help these people, and they were dying. Like, not when I say, not just, oh, because the sickness still, it was too far gone. No, 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 no. The healthy ones that got the vaccine were dying by the millions. Same thing happened in India. And every time someone tries to blow the whistle, they end up gone. Just gone. I'm not speaking from a place of not seeing it, okay? Saw it, got the information. At the time, I didn't know much about Bill Gates. It was alarming, but I wasn't of age enough to go delving into things, because at the time we didn't have a whole lot of, well, I didn't have access to computers, and we didn't have the internet and stuff like that, okay? It was just in its first phases. So you had to go to, news to get your information. And thankfully, there were still some news sources that were reporting correctly some things. But of course, they never attributed the deaths to the vaccines that they got. Okay, never did. Just so you know, they never did. Until members of the coalitions that were there, the missionaries, started seeing the results and started telling people, went to the news agencies to tell them. Guys, this is crazy. I'm not kidding you. I'm not lying. You just find a person that you know that's in Africa or from Africa and ask them what it is about. See if they can tell you. They'll tell you. Yeah. Sprinkle a little truth in with it. Sprinkle some help in with it. And then a big dash of lie and destruction, and you'll believe it. Because you're not going to go investigate that. Who's going to take the time to do that? I'm going to give you a little bit more in the next video. Because I can't take you down the rabbit hole. You won't be able to keep up. You have to take it at your own pace, but you have to start the journey down there. Do it yourself, okay? Do it yourself. Get educated about it. This is big. It is big. the next part of this thing will be dealing with the inner city, what they do to keep the African American and even the impoverished white people where they are, okay? And the reasons they really want as much immigrants as they can. When you hear that, that one will piss you off. Okay, that one will piss you off. So we'll catch up. I will see you guys in about, what time is it now? 8 o'clock, we'll say by noon, my time, so 4 hours, I'll be back. And we'll catch up, pick up on this, okay? You guys have a good one. Wisdom calls from the street. Find wisdom.